Good morning, everyone. My name is Romel.
And my name is Anaya.
We are in the 8th grade, and we are very happy to welcome you to the Epiphany School. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the opening of our Early Learning Center.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the hard work of our teachers, Mr. Finley, Mrs. Sanchez, and you.
We could talk all day, but there are others who want to share a few words.
Without further ado, please welcome the best principal in the world to the podium, Dr. Michelle Sanchez.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Epiphany's Early Learning Center is a dream come true. A year ago, when construction of our new building was complete, I remember being so excited about the idea of opening the doors to the Early Learning Center. Immediately thereafter. After all, the building was ready, the needs in our community were urgent, so why wait? Anyone who knows me will tell you I don't do well with waiting. However, I've come to appreciate the pause. To take a year before officially opening our doors, it turned out to be a true blessing. We are undoubtedly stronger as a result. It gave us the time and bandwidth to carefully and more thoughtfully establish the foundation of our unique and groundbreaking program. We've been able to recruit and hire phenomenal teachers, including my extraordinary ELC co-director, Natasha Shillingford. We've worked to foster meaningful reciprocal relationships with our phenomenal new families, starting before babies were born, with programming that targets their specific needs, building and capitalizing on their talents and strengths. We've also established partnerships with some of the best organizations in Boston: Codman Health Center, Room to Grow, Parenting Journey, Baraka Wellness, Jewish Vocational Services, Fathers Uplift, Cambridge Family and Children's Services, Metro Housing, C-Plan, and Jeremiah Program. Our key partner programs, and we are still building more. Together, we are helping our city's children and families thrive. As a result, my hopes, our hopes for the families we serve are boundless. Stability in housing, food security, alleviated stress, health and wellness, academic and career services, and a strong sense of community and belonging. This is a second home. We are well equipped to grow and learn beside our families. Speaking of great partners, I'm excited to welcome Imari Jeffries to the podium to say a few words on behalf of our partners.
Thank you, Michelle, for your partnership and vision in bringing us all here together today. I want to start by thanking Governor Baker, Mayor Walsh, Commissioner Weber for their support of this important day, and thank Dr. Sanchez and Reverend Finley for their partnership in building a brighter future for Boston's children and families. My name is Imari Jeffries, and I'm the Executive Director of Parenting Journey, one of the 9 partners that has the honor of working with the Epiphany School to pioneer a comprehensive community partnership model by meeting families' needs. By inviting Parenting Journey and our distinguished partners to provide services on site, Epiphany is putting the needs of children and families first. At Parenting Journey, we believe in a whole family approach. When families have access to comprehensive resources that allow them to take control of their physical and mental health, housing, life skills, they become stronger together. In partnership, we will create an environment that reduces toxic stress, enable children to grow, and families to learn and succeed. We're thrilled to be a part of this endeavor and look forward to the continuing partnership with these great organizations to create a future where all families in Boston can thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Imari. I want to take a minute to acknowledge State Reps Dan Hunt and Russell Holmes. Thank you for coming. Of course, none of this work would be possible without the generous support of so many of you in this room. Because of your commitment to us, we have reached a significant milestone in our efforts to start younger and grow stronger. Hundreds have contributed to our campaign over the last 4 years and are helping to make our dreams come true. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, through the Early Education and Out-of-School Time Grant, under the leadership of Governor Charlie Baker, is among those who've championed and supported our efforts. Thank you, and I am honored to invite Governor Baker to the podium to make a few remarks.
First of all, I want to welcome everybody on a bright and early, rainy Monday morning. Thank you very much for being here. This is a very special day for Epiphany, which is a terrific organization here in the Commonwealth and in the city of Boston. And several years ago, the state did a review of many of its early childhood education providers and concluded that we needed to get into the capital business. And over the course of the past few years, we've put about $20 million into capital initiatives associated with early childhood ed providers, which has leveraged about $80 million in investments by those organizations. And in this particular case, the Commonwealth is investing about $500,000 in this particular facility. And this is a very competitive process. There are always more applications than there are opportunities to fund. And what you should know is that the folks at Epiphany, as Dr. Sanchez said, did a really terrific job of making the case for this particular project. And I think having visited personally, both my wife and myself, Epiphany's school programs over the course of the past several years, we are more than well aware of the work that the Reverend and the team are doing here. This is truly a jewel in the crown of Boston, and we're honored to be part of the process. And I also just have to say that I thought it was interesting you mentioned Room to Grow as one of Epiphany's partners, because you and I are going to a dinner tonight to raise money for Room to Grow. So we're getting this on both ends of the day, and as I said, this is a terrific program. It's a very competitive process, and you truly do shine among the players in the constellation here in the Commonwealth. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm John Finley, and I'm the head of Epiphany School. And I want to thank Ramel and Anaya for your introductions and getting us started. You guys are really the reason we're all here, right? And I want to thank Michelle Sanchez. Michelle and I have been at this now for over 2 decades, and I think together we've made a little bit of a difference together. It's been great. I also want to thank Governor Baker. For those of you who don't know, he was here at the groundbreaking, and now he's here at the ribbon cutting. We're all about sticking with things and seeing things through, about abiding support. Governor Baker, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your help. The new Early Learning Center is a big step forward for Epiphany. We're now working with mothers and fathers from the moment they find out they're expecting a child. And success for us looks like a place where not only is the child prepared to succeed in kindergarten, but the family is back on its feet. And our many partners are helping us advance social policies that will help that happen. Then we will stay with our families forever, as we do now with our graduates from the middle school. So that means making sure they're in a good summer camp, making sure they're accessing some of the great after-school programs in the city of Boston, making sure they have good high school placement support, summer jobs, and assistance with college, and beyond. We now have a program where some 20-plus folks are living here, getting their master's degrees in education, and going into urban education. These are people who are from Roxbury, Dorchester, from the same backgrounds as our students, and many of them are Epiphany graduates themselves. I think now almost a third of our teachers are former students. For those of you who are interested, this entire project is part of a $25 million capital campaign. We are at $21 million. So if anyone has a spare million, this is, I'm your man. There's so many people to thank today that I can't possibly begin, but I want to thank one person finally. It's said that success has 1,000 fathers. And today there are 27 Epiphany-inspired schools around the country, 3 Epiphany-inspired schools in Africa. There's a lot to be proud of. But I know a guy who was a state rep who 21 years ago came to our aid when we were trying to get started in the basement of a church in Ashmont. That was Mayor Walsh. He stepped up to help us then, and he's been with us all the way through. It's an incredible honor to have you, Mayor Walsh, with us. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your belief in these amazing, wonderful children and their families. I think together we've been able to really change the trajectory for so many. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our mayor.
Thank you, John. There's a lot of stuff going on up here. Thank you, John.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't talk off the record, on the record. Let me just thank everyone for coming today. First and foremost, thank the young people that are here. We're here because of you. Now, when I walked in here today, it's a rainy, drizzly, dreary Monday. Then I think we're all still half asleep. But the good news is, it's like a 3-day week, right? So it's technically Wednesday. So let's get a little step and jump on our step. I want to thank you, John. I want to thank you, Ms. Sanchez. I want to thank the governor, who's always there for our young people and for education. I want to thank First Lady Laura Baker for her incredible work. You know, everyone talks about the governor a lot, but what the governor's wife does is really works on a lot of young people's programs and improving the quality of life for the young people. So I want to thank you for your work. I want to thank Representative Russell Holmes and Representative Danny Hunt, who represent this area. You know, when I got elected mayor, Danny Hunt took over as in my role as a state rep, and another person who just both of them actually just do the job, and that's what we need in politics today, is just to get the job done. I mean, occasionally we all venture into a little bit of craziness, but it is about delivering services. Being a state rep from Dorchester, it's about delivering for your district. It's about making sure that opportunities are there for the people that live in the district, and the young people are our most precious asset in our community. So I want to thank both of you for the work that you do every single day at the State House. I also want to thank the community that's here. I know that I wasn't at the community meeting, I wasn't at St. Mark's meeting, but I guess it was on the way to approve this, it was a little bumpy along the road. I also want to be clear, this was basically an abandoned parking lot. 21 years ago. Home for Little Wanderers was next door. I forgot. I came by looking at the building. It was falling apart. There was really not much going on here. I want to thank the community that stepped up here and supported this. This is a good thing for our neighborhood. Epiphany School, the track record and the young people that get a chance to learn here, it is a good thing. I wish we had more opportunities for education in Dorchester and in Boston. We want to bring as many as we can to our neighborhoods and our city, all different types of education. We need to do that. I said that when I first got elected mayor. I don't care how a young person gets educated, as long as they get educated and go on and be successful. It doesn't matter if it's a private, parochial, charter, whatever type of school it is. It doesn't matter. In the Epiphany School in Dorchester for 21 years. Is it 21 years you've been doing? For 21 years, have been working extremely hard, educating our young people, but also being a partner. Those of you that are from St. Mark's area, when Sharman Station was being done over, Epiphany School was one of the leaders to make sure we did the tunnel cap over. to create access for Center Street and for Melville and move it all the way down. It was Epiphany School that came to the meetings. We had the meetings in the school, first of all, but then we had that. So I want to thank Epiphany for all the great work that you've done over the years. But while we're here, this school is special. It teaches the whole child, the whole student, not just academics, but well-being. And I want to thank you all. And having an early learning center as well is something important. It's one of the things that I've pushed on. I know the legislature's pushing on it. I know the speaker's pushing on it. I know the governor's pushing on it. And what's going to happen here is when we get universal pre-kindergarten here in Boston, and it's coming, we added 1,000 seats in 4 years, Epiphany is one of the spots that we can educate our young pre-kindergarten students. So I'm just here to say thank you. I'm here to say thank you to everyone that made this incredible space available and this incredible space for our young people. It's been a long time coming. To the teachers, thank you for your support and your work that you do every single day. To the community, thank you for what you do every day. And let's continue to move forward because it really is important. In a little while, I'm going to be asked the press conference. Not a press conference, going to be asking me about what happened in Boston over the weekend. They're going to talk about the violence in the city. And the question really is, what's going on in this school? And we need to continue to talk about positive stories to our young people and let young people know there's a lot of great things happening in our school. And some of the best things happening in our school are right here at Epiphany. So thank you very much for being here this morning. And congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor Walsh. As most of you know, Epiphany got its start at All Saints Church, an Episcopal church up the street. I'm an Episcopal priest. A few members of my parish at St. Mark's are here today, and I'm honored that you're here. Fundamentally for me, just speaking personally, this work is about the idea that every child is sacred, right? The work of the church is really the work that we're all trying to do, which is to hold up our young people, honor them, to honor all people. And my hope is that everyone involved with Epiphany, not just the kids, but all of you, are all being lifted up and honored at the same time. The head of the diocese, the bishop, Bishop Gates, is here today. He's going to give us a final prayer. I say this often, but if you're alone with him, please tell him what a great job I'm doing, because he's my boss. We're under great leadership in our diocese, and a lot of great things are happening, and I'm very honored to be a priest in this diocese under the leadership of Bishop Gates. Bishop Gates.
If only we could school Father Finley in how to dress like a priest.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. It's my great honor to bring the greetings of the wider Episcopal Diocese of Massachusetts to this gathering, and our congratulations to Epiphany School for yet this latest milestone in the growing into a vision of serving all of our children. I was going to say that Epiphany School is one of the jewels in the crown of the Episcopal Diocese of Massachusetts, but the governor already stole my line. The thing is, with John Finley in the house, there's always a mindset of abundance and not scarcity, so there's probably more than one crown that we can recognize. This morning as I left, I opened my drawer to see what kind of stole I might throw on to say the prayer, and first I grabbed a gold one because Epiphany is the gold standard, right? But then I remembered that in the bottom of the drawer I had this stole that has just the images of a lot of men and women and lots of children on it. And at the bottom it says, behold the face of God. And Epiphany School is one of the places where, by God's grace, we're able to live out our conviction that every child is indeed in the image of God, and that we honor that image by striving for the kind of developmental and educational blessings that are delivered in this place. So we thank you for that. Let us pray. Oh God, we give you thanks for every blessing of this life, for the blessings of home and work and school, of labor and play and rest. We thank you for the blessing of hope, for our hopes for the future, and for the way that hope breaks through even now into our own lives and the lives of those around us. We give thanks for this place, the very name of which signifies breaking through, for Epiphany School. We thank you for the dedication of those who teach and serve here, for the generosity of those who support Epiphany with their time and treasure. We thank you especially for the boys and girls who come to Epiphany to learn, to grow, and to be equipped for their fullest potential. Send your blessing upon them and give them hope in the present for the future. And now we thank you for this new early learning center, for the growth and development to be fostered at the very genesis of these young lives. For those whose vision imagined this center, for the supporters whose sacrifices enabled it, for the engineers and contractors whose skill and labor designed and built it, for the partner agencies who will make its services deep and broad, for the staff who will serve it, and most of all for the families who will give it life and love. In every way, O Lord, bless this place in its new beginnings and bring its bud to glorious flower. This is our joyous prayer. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
So I think it's now time for what we're all here for, the ribbon cutting. Everybody, we're about to cut, but we have one other guest to acknowledge. Andrea Campbell has been a godsend to Epiphany. He's a great friend of Dr. Sanchez's. We're honored to have you here. Yay.